All right, welcome back. Yes, indeed, that is what we're focusing on next. We've got Major General Obi Umahi joining us this morning, the former GOC 81 Div and the Chairman, Southeast Security Committee. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the program today. Well, the last time we spoke, yeah, you had said that the Southeast Zone was the most secure in the country, and as though some heard you, and then it went awry in the region, given what and how things played out in Imo and are still playing out. But then you had also said that the governors had concluded plans to set up a security outfit, and now they've announced Ebube Agu at the moment. So from your understanding, could you let us into what this entails? Because there are several processes that many thought they were going to put in place before this announcement. What has been done in terms of how this is going to be operationalized?
Thank you, Chamberlain. I think there was a committee earlier that included the attorney generals of the 5 Southeast states that came up with a framework. I guess the governors have studied this framework over time before concluding on the veracity of making the announcement they made in Owerri some days ago. So I think the next thing they need to do is to get the states assemblies to promulgate a law concerning this particular outfit. And once that is done, then everything will roll out.
The time that was taken before this was announced, many thought that that end of the whole thing was what was being sorted before this announcement, but it appears not. Does that then suggest or mean that their hands were forced as a result of what was playing out in the region? They needed to just do something such that they're seen to be responding to the security threats?
Number one, responding to security threat is one. Secondly, there is, I guess there was so much that went in at the background, like issues of security are not rushed into. There was some level of diplomatic networking that the governors needed to do to be on the same page. And I guess that they feel they have satisfied all they needed to know to work together. And that is why they roll this out. I don't think it's because someone forced their hand somewhere, but they are reading the situation like other people. They are reading the security situation in the Southeast, and they feel that the alert has been raised, so they needed to act, and they have acted promptly.
You said the attorney generals are working, just to ensure that the legal details are finalized alongside the state assemblies. Doesn't that then mean that until that is done, this announcement will be just that, an announcement?
No, I guess certain things will be working pari passu. There are things that can be going on simultaneously. So while the attorney generals are fine-tuning the bills to submit in the state assemblies, and I guess because the state assemblies are part of the society, they're part of the system, so that wouldn't give them it wouldn't take them a lot of time to come up with a law.
But from your understanding, why does it have to take so much for the state assemblies to just finalize this? It's been a while. I
said that one thing you can give to the governor is that they may have been networking in order to reach common ground on all issues. Issues of security are a little bit sensitive. And again, consider the fact that the governors of the Southeast have they have contributed so much in the stability of the polity of the nation by withholding some action by doing one thing or the other in order to help the stability of this nation. I guess that all this add up to this, what they call, someone may call delay, but I don't think, strategically speaking, that it was a delay. I think so many things were going on at the background that were not known to many, and that is why they are acting at this particular time.
Well, on the one hand, just as you said, the attorneys general of the 5 states are working on a document. But on the other hand, what we understand is it's a joint security outfit. Does that mean that it's just one central coordinating organization that is in charge of security in the entire southeastern states? Is it that southeastern Ebube Agu, or is Ebube Agu in each of the different states?
It's Ebube Agu in each of the different states. There will be a central command and coordinating center that will help to share information, that will help to acquire some security assets as may be permitted by the federal government. Such assets may be difficult, financially speaking, for one state to acquire. But when all the 5 states come together, they will be able, economically speaking, to acquire such equipment with the approval of the federal government. So there will be a central command and coordinating center, but each of the states will be responsible for the security of their various states. Without prejudice to this, the security, the vigilante in Enugu State could support that of Ebonyi State. Ebonyi State could support that of Abia. Just the same, should there be any need for such support, like security awareness, like information sharing, like passing some, like alarm system, it will be controlled from the center, which the governors have stated will be located at Enugu.
Does that support entail that the vigilante in Ebonyi can cross into Owerri?
Oh yes, why not? We are the same. It's just artificial boundaries that separated us. Otherwise, we are the same people.
Interesting, General, but one of the things that raises a question on my mind, and I'm pretty sure that we'll take this when we return from the break after you began this conversation, is have we been able to track the reasons, the causes of the upsurge of insecurity in the Southeast now, which necessitated this action of the governors?
Why not? We have all been watching developments in the security sector, and especially as it affects the Southeast. In the past, Southeast was the most secure, the most peaceful region in the entire country. But like we all know, there was recent attack in Ebonyi State, Egedegede, by herdsmen, attack in Enugu, and then the correctional center jailbreak, and the burning of police headquarters at Owerri. So all these have raised the security alerts in the Southeast, warranting the governors to take the action they have just taken to set up this security framework for the Southeast.
We'll continue this conversation in just a moment. Please stay with us.
Well, thanks for staying with us. General, before we go to those other issues, perhaps there are a number of things that people need to understand about exactly the nature and the shape that Ebube Agu is going to take.
Oh, well, like I earlier said, there will be a command and control center at its headquarters at Enugu. And each of the states will have their Ebube Agu structured in a way that could aid mobilization, quick mobilization, deployment, and operations. So that structure in each state will be replicated in all other states, but each state will be able to carry out health security duties, doing everything possible to ensure security in coordination with the federal security agencies. So, as Ebonyi State is doing its own, Enugu is doing its own, Imo, Abia, Anambra, that will be going on simultaneously. A good alarm system that can be used in all the states. Like I said earlier, the coordinating center will also help to operate some equipment that can only be centralized for the entire Southeast. So each state will still operate on its own, but there could be an overlap. There could be a support if the need arises.
For a lot of people, they remember Motek. I mean, as soon as they heard Ebube Agu. Is this similar in any way to Motek?
Well, yes, similar in some ways. You know, the truth is that Motek, as it stands now, does not have a central command and control center. And I do not know whether they share information. And I have not heard of cross-border support in their Motek operations. But this is going to be the case in that of Southeast Security Outfit. And that tells you that a lot of time has been spent, some details worked out, put into it. Through the period, people felt it was a period of inaction. There were actions going on through this period to fine-tune, to be on the same page on virtually all issues, so that the operation as it is rolled out will be seamless.
Right. I mean, the timing of this is quite interesting. Just a few days after the nation got a new acting IGP. And I recall that the Southeast governors had meetings time and again with the former IGP. So let me just first ask, to what extent is the new acting IGP being carried along in this whole process?
Well, that is a very interesting question. Thank you very much. Let me tell you that, unlike in the past, the governors of today have been doing what I can call diplomatic politicking. So, because they believe in the Nigerian project, they believe that we are better off staying together as one big Nigeria than going into splinters. They have been doing everything to contribute their quota in retaining the peace and unity of this nation. So they have not been involved in statements to overheat the system. But that is not to say that they have not been fully concerned with the security of the Southeast. What they have achieved is that they have used penetration, networking, and diplomacy to gain support for Southeast security framework from the police, from the security agencies, from the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because these agencies, the federal government, they have seen the needs for regional security outfit. After all, the joint security of civilian joint security in the Northeast, it's all about this same thing. And the federal government has helped to sponsor them, integrated them into what they are doing to fight terrorism in the Northeast. So I guess the federal government have seen the need for various regional security outfits. They are not against it. And I give kudos to the governors for the networking they did, for the diplomatic penetration they carried out in order not to be at loggerheads and have a level of misunderstanding with the federal government. Everybody supports that security in one part of Nigeria is security for the whole nation. I guess there is nobody who is against the security outfit of the Southeast.
Well, I just heard you say you guess, and I was trying to just get a clear response. Specifically, is the new acting IGP, is he in on this? Has he given some sort of, a nod to this? Is he saying, I will support this initiative? Yes, it's good for the whole nation and for the region, but I will support it. Is that what you're getting from him?
That's what the governors have extracted.
From the new acting IGP, you mean?
From the entire security agencies.
Okay, so that's to say that the new acting IGP is not involved with this directly.
I am not saying that. I said the Southeast governors have extracted support.
All right. Best under 3 minutes. About to tour a $2.5 million mansion, 3 minutes or less. And
in any case, because what the regional security is doing is to help, to support the federal security agencies to succeed in their constitutional roles. I think every misunderstanding has been based on lack of understanding of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Constitution says that the governor is the chief security officer of his state. And that implies that every governor can employ every constitutional means, every legitimate means to ensure that there is security in his state. More so because the federal security agencies are not under the governors. So the governors must make their own local arrangements to provide security to meet up the responsibilities that the Constitution has conferred on them, which the people, as a matter of fact, are expecting them without any precondition to meet. So I think there is just this lack of understanding of the Constitution and what responsibilities the Constitution has conferred on the governors.
Because, I mean, there was that argument as well that the law does not permit them to come up with a regional security outfit, but that the states can legislate and work as such. But you're saying they've extracted that commitment, support for a regional security outfit. Is that right?
There is no law in the Nigerian books and in the Constitution that says that states cannot cooperate to achieve legitimate end. States can cooperate in the area of agriculture. They can cooperate in the area of various industrial development. They can cooperate. They can cooperate in the area of development of transportation. So why can they not cooperate in the area of security, which has overarching importance to the lives and livelihood of the people?
Would it be out of place to say that Ebube Agu will effectively put to bed the option or the notion of community policing, because this, from the look of things, may end up being closer to the people than the community policing initiative that the police was working on?
I rather think that it will enhance the operations of community policing. What is community policing about? It is about being close to the people. It's about getting information and passing it on to the legitimate authority that can use it to enhance security. So the two of them, the two are not in any way contradictory. They are rather reinforcing. They will rather help to achieve the desired security in not only in the Southeast, but if applied beyond all over Nigeria.
Saying that this is way different, completely different from the community policing initiative of the police.
Well, I think you see, the real meaning of community policing is that the police is working in tandem, in close relationship with the communities they are deployed. There are no gaps. There is an excellent relationship so that the community members cannot withhold information that will help the police to execute her constitutional roles. That is what the community policing is all about. But unfortunately, it is going to be difficult to achieve community policing in Nigeria. Where there is community policing, policemen don't live in barracks. They live with the people. Policemen are an integral part of every community they are serving. Policemen are not hated, they are loved. They do not get involved in actions and inactions that will bring division, that will bring distancing from the members of the community they are deployed. There is a seamless relationship between the police. The police see the people as their own, and the community see the police as their own. No gaps.
Well,
I think relationship.
Right. I think it's important, really, to help people understand what to expect from this so the lines are drawn finally. I recall last year there were a series of meetings, like I said, with the former Inspector General of Police. And I recall the governor of Ebonyi State saying that right after a virtual meeting, I think there was some disagreement with the way the police was rolling out the community police, which the Southeast governors said that they were going to support. Recall that this Southeast security outfit was in the talks last year, and it seemed as though the governors were aligning with the community policing initiative of the IGP of the Nigeria Police Force. And right after that virtual meeting, the governor of Ebonyi State said that we governors of the Southeast and our leaders were the first to accept community policing because of the beautiful ingredients of community policing the IG explained to us when we had a meeting at Enugu prior to that time, which is why I think it's important to draw a line. Is this going to be swallowed by the community policing initiative of the police specifically, or it will be different from it?
Let me just explain something. Initially, the thinking of the police concerning community policing was that the police was going to take the lead and align it with the Nigerian police structure as presently constituted. So, which means that the governor was meant to be sidelined from the control of the community policing arrangement. So the governors of the Southeast rejected that arrangement and said that was not the earlier agreement they reached with the former IG. So there was an amendment, and the amendment was that the governor of the state would take control, would take charge. So based on that, the governor of Ebonyi State made that statement. So all the while, the Southeast governors were conscious of the fact that they needed to assert control, authority over the police, community policing. And that was yielded to them. And now, I want to assure you that Ebube Agu is going to operate separate from the community policing, but they are going to be self-reinforcing. They are going to cooperate it's not going to be exclusive. The community policing arrangement will require Ebube Agu. Ebube Agu will require community policing. And in fact, the agencies of security in this country, they will require them to help them. And there we have information of the community that the police may not know of. So the police requires Ebube Agu to succeed, especially if the target is one thing, to improve security in this nation. There shouldn't be anything like contradiction. No. There shouldn't be anything like unhealthy competition. No. There should be cooperation, because the aim is the same, security of this nation.
Well, General, so if you say that the governors extracted support from the security agencies, the police included, how then do we situate item 11 in the governor's communique that says Southeast governors requested the acting IGP to stop the influx of IGP monitoring units, but to allow CPs and state and zonal commands to handle their cases?
Let me tell you, the police arrangement sometimes is internally and inherently contradictory. It is not so in the Nigerian army where I served. You can't have a command that you have confidence in the commander. This time, let me be specific about police. It is the police headquarters that appointed the commissioner of police, and appointed him because he's competent, he's qualified to hold that office. And he is expected to ensure security in the state he has been appointed. Why will the same police pass vote of no confidence in the commissioner of police by sending another layer of security to come and operate in his area of responsibility without reference to the commissioner of police? Why should they impose another layer of federal team upon the it breeds confusion. It breeds nothing but security contradictions. So that will reinforce insecurity rather than help to ensure security. So I think the police needs to address this issue. Check everywhere in the world. There is no way it is happening that way. It's not happening anywhere in the world. So sometimes some of those policies are instigated by some other reasons other than enhancing the security of this nation.
Well, in order to enhance the security in the Southeast, will Ebube Agu wear same uniform? Will they be found in the cities as well, or will they be restricted to the outskirts?
They will be everywhere. They will wear the same uniform. They will be everywhere, especially where there is need for them to be. And like I told you earlier, they will seek total cooperation with the federal security agencies. We are not, Ebube Agu is not going to work as if it has an enemy. No, the security agencies are friends. And Ebube Agu cannot succeed without the security agencies. That is why so much cooperation will be sought from the federal security agencies. Otherwise, Ebube Agu will not succeed.
This is a step to state police, don't you think?
You say what?
This is a major step to achieving the much talked about state police.
State police will come with constitutional amendment, but I guess that Nigeria has nothing stopping it from establishing state police. That is one sure way of improving security of this nation overnight. State police is required, and in fact, the provision in the Constitution that confers the governor with the title with the Office of Chief Security Officer envisages that he will have state police that he will be responsible for using to achieve that constitutional responsibility. I think we should stop at nothing to ensuring the establishment of state police. We require it today more than we have ever needed it. And I think that the National Assembly should go for it. The federal government should go for it. Every right-thinking Nigerian should go for it.
You know, at different times in our nation's political history, the army, the police, security agencies have at one time or the other been accused of meddling with elections. How do we guarantee or ensure that Ebube Agu is not used for political purposes?
Well, it is a systemic problem. The federal security agencies are used to meddle with elections. So if we are not afraid of that, why should we be afraid that the regional security outfits or state police will be used for that same purpose? We need to improve on the stability of our institutional culture. When we get our institutional culture right, all those kind of things will come to an end. But in the interim, what is in the front burner in this nation is issue of insecurity. And what we require to address insecurity is we need state police. We need some other arrangements. I have said before that this nation does not have internal security doctrine. We need it for us to be sure that everybody is doing what he ought to do to ensure security of this nation. And when there is insecurity as we have it now, we should be able, where we have coherent and operational internal security doctrine, we should be able to know the institution that is not doing its work, and then we know where to pass the buck.
All right, then Major General Obi Umahi, former GOC 81 Div and Chairman Southeast Security Committee, thank you very much indeed for your time this morning.
Thank you very much.